on me. You let me in when I lost my key. When it was getting late, I didn't walk away. Oh, looking back, we were so naive. We were in love, I swear we were. We were like fire.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a stretch and talk, and it has been a while since I filmed one of these. This is one of those series that I picked up back in the springtime where I would just stretch and do yoga and hang out with you guys and just like answer questions, kind of more Q&A style. I decided to kind of just make it anything. Like you could put thought starters, topics, questions. I decorated the background because this is, you know, a YouTuber stretch and talk, so we couldn't not go all out and get moody. Also, this lip is a mood. These socks are also like, ever since I got these, I've been wearing them every chance I can get. I went for a run this morning and my hamstrings are super tight. So let's stretch legs, shall we? I feel like I just want to roll right into this. The only thing about stretching and talking is kind of hard to like flow while I'm also trying to make sure that I'm in frame and answering questions. And it's a lot more like sidetracked than usual yoga. Just bear with me. If you want to go off course and do your own stretches, feel free. We're hanging out, we're stretching together. Don't feel like you gotta follow me kind of thing. So anyways, let me start with a topic. So the very first comment says, and it's got quite a few likes, Anne Holt wants to know, please talk about learning how to be alone and enjoying your own company. You're such an inspiration. Thank you, Anne. One of my biggest fears in life is kind of being lonely. Like, it's crazy because I think that in order to enjoy being alone, you kind of have to be in balance with yourself, because when you're in balance, then everything that you do, you enjoy it. Like, you feel like you could be anywhere with anyone or without anyone. I feel like maybe it's not so much about labeling time alone and time with other people. I feel like it's more so just getting to a point in life and getting to a point with yourself where you're just so presently aware and you're so conscious of just the fact that you're even existing at all, the fact that you're breathing. You have to slow down life to understand how precious, I guess, in a way it is. Then I feel like you can learn to have gratitude and like appreciate moments as they're happening, even if you're alone. Like you don't need that extra person around you to kind of validate what you're doing. You're just like, I'm here and I'm living and I'm doing my thing. A lot of the times, being conscious and being aware and being present and slowing down your life is uncomfortable, because when we slow things down, it means that we actually have to learn to enjoy exactly where we are and trust exactly where we are and believe that we're not meant to be anywhere else and we're not supposed to be surrounded by anyone else, or that we're not missing anything. A lot of us unconsciously believe that there's things missing from our lives and that we need to go out and get them, and that's why we find it so uncomfortable to be present and to be just exactly where you are without the stress and the drama, you know? And so I feel like it's a muscle that you kind of have to work on, and I think a lot of it stems from tuning into the present moment in front of you. When you tune into it and you want to have anxiety and you want to freak out and you want to feel lonely and you want to tell yourself all the ways that you're not good enough in that exact moment, and when it comes to being lonely, it would be, oh, you're not good enough because you don't have a bunch of people around you. Instead, you catch yourself in that present moment and instead fill it with gratitude. Like, you fill it with just like, holy shit balls, I'm alive. Like, and you realize that, I don't know, everything around you is all happening in a way kind of for you, and you realize that there is nothing missing from your life, that people are gonna come and go, that in 2 days you could be surrounded by so many people that you wish you would have had that time alone. And you grab the perspective and you grab just like the confidence and the compassion for all life and for yourself. And then suddenly being alone isn't really being alone, because you feel connected to everything. Does that make sense? That was a really in-depth answer to that, but I feel like this year and all of the solo travel that I did, it really put into perspective for me just how important it is to not give into like these narratives and these stories that our anxieties and our fears want to tell us, that we're lonely, that nobody understands us, that nobody's like us, that if you're not surrounded by a bunch of people, or if you don't have like a bunch of people validating you all the time. And that's a big thing with social media, and just how, you know, how wrapped up into social media and how wrapped up into other people validating us that we are, that there's something wrong with us. Like, no. We are all good just as we are. Whether you're alone or you're not, you are fulfilled. Next question. Oh, that felt so good. Sarah wants to talk about, and 103 of you guys agreed, doing YouTube as a full-time job. Topics like how long did you have to keep another job before you could quit and just do this full-time? I'm working my butt off day in and day out and it just feels like it's never gonna pay off. Tips, please. For me, it started off with me just wanting to create content. I just wanted to create videos. And it's funny because yes, YouTube is my full-time job, but so is podcasts now. And so is, like, there's so many different avenues to it. And I don't think that if you go at it with just like the straightforward, like zoned in focus of I need to just be able to like make YouTube videos, I feel like if you look at it as like, I just want to be able to create, I just want to make things, like it sounds to me like anybody that would want to get into YouTube or get into like, you know, videos and things like that sounds like they really want to create. Don't neglect any other ideas or any other avenues. Don't look to other people's kind of pathway of how they built where they're at, like even just how I've built where I'm at, because it could be different. It's also the fact too that YouTube was different when I was posting videos at the very beginning, and it took a couple viral videos for me to really actually start gaining some traction and to be able to consider taking it on as a full-time job. I was doing YouTube for about 2 years, I would say, before I really quit all my other jobs and took it on full-time. But I mean, I took it on full-time making just enough to get by kind of thing. It wasn't like I took it on full-time because I was making big bang. I guess when it boils down to it, I should continue stretching. I have not been stretching as much. I guess when it boils down to it, what I'm trying to say is the trick to enjoying your life and finding your passion and your career and making it work in a way that it overlaps is to align exactly what you want to do with what you're doing right now. So find a way to be content with what you're already creating. Find a way to be content with the amount of time you're able to already give to your passions. And the more that you focus on that and the more that you feel grateful for that, the more that that will grow and it'll attract some type of opportunity. It'll attract some type of weird fluke, stumbles into your lap if you just trust in it type of thing, where all of a sudden you're gonna be sitting and telling somebody else how the heck that you got to where you're doing, where what you love is what you do on a daily basis. And what you love is gonna be different from exactly what somebody else loves or what I love or how it got me to where I am. Like I'm still shook. Like, it doesn't even fully register with me yet. When I post these videos, I can't even think about how many eyeballs see it because my brain just can't grasp that, and it still blows my mind. And that if I think about it too much, it kind of starts to trip me out. So instead, I just, in the present moment, I'm just grateful that it even exists. And I hope that it'll continue to open up more doorways and more avenues. And in trusting in that and in believing with that, somehow I've always kind of stumbled into or found a way to make it work. That and a lot of also hard work. Like, I know that you're saying that you're getting a little tired of just like putting your blood, sweat, and tears in, but trust me, hard work and good intentions, they'll pay off, okay? That's like the formula that the universe just loves. The universe will have your back. Just trust. So Sarah Simmons and 68 of you guys agreed. Can you please talk about tarot cards and spirit animals? Yes, I can. Honestly, this is just one of those topics that there's just like, I know there's a few of you guys out there that are like, no, don't talk about the tarot, because I used to be one of those people, you know? Actually, I don't know if I would have ever been like, don't talk about it, but I would have been like, oh God, this stuff again. And honestly, I get that because it's like, it's kind of like horoscopes. You're either into them or you're just not. And I respect that. That said, I just feel like they're just so fun. Like, it's just a fun little inspo. I like the romantic notion of the fact that the universe could somehow communicate with us and help guide us in some way. I like that romantic notion, but there's no way that I'll ever be able to prove that it's true. That's not gonna stop me from believing in it anyway because it's fun. Oh, I think my salad's here. Got my salad. I really need to, like, guys, this week I fell off my budget. I've been so busy that I haven't had time to go grocery shopping, so I ordered a salad for lunch. Don't ask me how much it came to with delivery. Only ask me how good it is. Are we gonna pull some tarot while I eat the salad? I feel like that works. I always keep my readings in this little I don't know, just like my window area, and I just like reflect upon it for like however many days it is between the times I do readings for fun. See if it ever ends up kind of being relative or inspiring or whatever. So I'm gonna go grab those and then we'll do a reading. So talk about tarot and the animal spirit deck. So my tarot deck is the first one that I got. I got it for Christmas from my sister. And I had done tarot readings before. I have done like psychic readings and stuff. I find that stuff just really cool and really fun. And I started pulling cards at the beginning of this year. And it's just been like one of those fun things that sometimes you relate so much to it, or you see so much of yourself into what it's telling you that it ends up being like almost validation, probably is exactly what it is. It's almost like sometimes maybe we find the validation that we need to trust ourselves in other things, and that can sometimes even happen through tarot. I'm gonna pull 3 cards. I feel like one of them is gonna be love related. Oh my god. Okay, I even videotaped it. Remember how I just told you guys that I was pulling my cards from over there? You just saw me shuffle and I just pulled the same card. Freaky sheesh, right? Oh, the Empress, the Devil, and the Ace of Cups, which is, wow, that's a lot. So I know that the Empress is all about like fertility and the loving mother and like mother nature and just reconnecting with that side of yourself. And so kind of nurturing yourself, which is weird because even though YOUTOBER is usually such a stressful time of year, this is the first year during YOUTOBER that I haven't let the stress really get to me. I've just been kind of like taking care of myself, doing what I need to do, understanding that there's this quote I read by Lao Tzu that said, nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. And every time I feel myself stressing out and wanting to rush and just get things done and like go into that, you know, kind of high strung mentality, I always remind myself of that quote, and then I just like, and so this is like, that's kind of the energy I'm feeling from this. And that I don't know why I was thinking love when I put it down. So it might be like, maybe that's like a self-love card, you know? The Devil is all about temptation or negativity. So it could be just like attaching to, like I was saying earlier, like that stressful mentality. Deal with the devil. And then Ace of Cups is, I'm pretty sure it's about new beginnings, because aces usually are. These are things that I'm slowly starting to pick up on now. Like, I still don't have this deck memorized. I do know ace means beginnings. Guys, I could use a cuddle buddy as I eat salad off my yoga mat. I'm not ready for this. Ace marks the beginning of exciting new phases. Since the Suit of Cups deals specifically with love and emotion, you're in for a real treat. Expect to enter a blissful time of health, joy, and friendship. A new love could be on the horizon. You may feel like you're making a whole new start. Just go with it and allow this feeling to revitalize your spirit. I'll take it. In this tarot book specifically, I like the Wild Unknown. This is the deck that I have, and I also picked up the Animal Spirit deck from the Wild Unknown as well. They're both by Kim Kranz. Art on her tarot cards are just so gorgeous. The Animal Spirit deck is one that I picked up more recently, and I've been really digging it. Like, the whole time I was in BC, I pretty much just pulled Animal Spirit. I wasn't really feeling as drawn to the tarot, and so same thing, like the art is just beautiful, and it's all through elements, and I think that's why I love it so much. Like, I'm a little element freak. Like, I love the idea of connecting to like earth, fire, water, and air, and the way that they can kind of cover all of the bases of being human, you know, like spirit, body, mind, emotion, and I like the synergy in that. I don't know, that's why I really like these ones as well. So I'm gonna pull just one. Ooh, this is so suitable for a YouTuber video, like pulling the owl. Where's Harry Potter? So the owl is obviously an air sign. Abundance, clairvoyant, and treasures. The owl is a mysterious and outwardly creature and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or a treasure is on its way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom by your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon and how it can further your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. Tarot and Animal Spirit decks, it's just a kind of fun thing to play around with. It's kind of like crystals. It's just stuff that makes me feel connected to something, and plants are like a bigger one for me. Essential oils, like these are things that I've really kind of opened myself up to a lot this year, and they're things that I've found a lot of joy out of. So that's why I kind of keep them in my life, you know? Just want a piece of tofu. I have like spinach in my teeth. Really attractive. So Chloe wants to know, my anxiety has been sky high and really tough to deal with in this past month. What is your best tips to get out of a rut and to stop feeling anxious? it's so funny because I was talking recently to my counselor about anxiety because my anxiety was starting to pick up with YouTober coming around too. And it's one of those things that it was almost like knowing that things were going to be crazy, I was getting like pre-anxious over being anxious. So anyways, the things that I find have really helped me, there's been like the big quote, the one about how nature doesn't rush yet everything gets accomplished, that really helps with my anxiety. But I honestly feel like the biggest thing that has helped me in the last little bit is there are two like main just mindsets I've been trying to stick to that kind of bring forth just a way more balanced and just calm sense of ease to your everyday life. And because when you're anxious, you start to spin out, right? You start thinking worst case scenario, you start just like believing like, I don't know, that like bad things are either gonna happen. You just don't feel safe. And so the biggest thing that has been helping is I try and use compassion and confidence. So I find that in the moment when I'm anxious, a lot of the times I'm not being very compassionate, even just towards myself. I almost fuel my anxiety. I almost fuel my fear, because it's just like a human nature thing that we want to like fuel the drama of our lives. And my counselor said this today and it really stuck with me, but she said that people with anxiety are really good at finding problems. So no matter what is presented to you, you want to find the problem because you want to find the solution before it even becomes a problem, right? So when I'm in those moments and I'm anxious and I'm looking for a problem, instead I try and find compassion for myself to think like, you know what, maybe I just need to realize that there is no problem, or maybe I just need to make myself feel safe, or maybe I just need to go step away, or just find some sort of compassion for yourself to understand that obviously you're feeling triggered for whatever reason. Obviously, if you're anxious, it's like your body or your mind. Oh, did you just hear that? Those were my toes. It's your body or your mind trying to tell you that a message, just something isn't right. When you kind of give yourself permission through compassion and confidence in who you are to enjoy your life, or maybe think, okay, maybe there's nothing to really be afraid of, you might be able to just sneak your way out of it. So a lot of you guys have been asking about going more in depth about how I learned yoga and how I learned handstands and headstands and all that fun stuff. I have to feel my body in order to understand what needs to be stretched, what needs to be moved, what wants to be moved, because that's the weirdest thing about yoga. The minute you can tune in to exactly how your muscles are feeling and how like your bones and just everything is aligned and feeling, if you can actually put your brain and your present awareness into those parts of your body, you can feel how they want to move. Even just working on it against a wall and feeling what it's like to hold your body up in that way and learning to condition your body to kind of follow suit. I think the thing I love most about yoga is it's not something you can perfect. It's something that you grow at it every single time you roll out your mat. I like it because it's a bit more, I don't know, I love to run because running, burn it up, to take all that pent up energy and just go. Whereas yoga helps me just tune back into, after I've gone and I've burned out and depleted all of that excess energy, yoga helps me kind of tune back into the now and refill back up. To be honest, I'm not a professional, and the way that I do it is probably not 100% accurate. It's just me moving my body in a way that I'm like, oh, suddenly my feet are above my head. Though I will explain. I highly recommend, like I said, doing it up against the wall so you don't hurt your back or anything and you have something to hold your feet up against. The more and more I practiced my headstands, the stronger my shoulders got, the more I started to feel my body kind of want to push off the ground and like want to lift my head. And then one day I just finally kicked up and tried it, and I had the arm stand down, and that was just like how it kind of progressed for me. I'm gonna try and talk to you guys as I do this, but my voice is gonna be facing away. Put my head on the ground, put my arms on either side, and then if you can bring your butt far enough and your feet close enough, then you should be able to kind of just bring your knees up, you know? And then once your knees are up, you can kind of kick your legs up. Another way to do it as well is to get into like a crow pose. So you put your knees as far up on the top parts of your arm as you can. Into your armpits is ideal. And then once you do that, you lift your feet off the ground. And then once your feet are off the ground, you kind of slowly just rest your head down. And then use your elbows and your knees to kind of push your legs up. So then your arms aren't by your head. Just be very careful because you can obviously hurt yourself. So that's why I suggest practicing up against the wall. gonna answer one more and then wrap it up. I feel like I've been blabbering quite a bit. That said, so many of you guys put in such good topics that I feel like I'm gonna use this for a future one. Should I do more? Should we make this part of the daily? Oh my god. If I'm doing daily vlogging and I decide I'm doing yoga that day, I'm just gonna open up this and answer more of your guys' stretch and talk questions. That's gonna be a thing now. Autumn Grace 18 wants to know, I know it's not necessarily spooky, but a story time of past Halloweens, like what you dressed as, trick-or-treating stories would be so cool. I like that one. I feel like that one's a really good one to end on. Okay, so when I was young, I remember one year I went as a vampire. My Halloween makeup was finished and I hadn't seen it yet. And I went into the bathroom and flicked on the light. I was like in grade 2. And the minute I saw my face, I screamed and scared myself so bad that I was like bawling hysterically. Grade 9, I went as a firefighter. And I remember that was like the first year that, oh god, this is bad. Sorry dad if you're watching this. I remember I had a bunch of friends over because my dad played in a band, so my parents were out and I had a bunch of my friends over from high school and I just got into high school. I don't know why, but that's probably one of my favorite Halloweens too. It was just like, I was making all new friends, it was all new people, it was a whole new just beginning of a seeding chapter of my life of just high school, and that was just like, that was a good Halloween too. There was also a year that I went as Taylor Swift, but it was like grade 11, so it was like not a cool thing, it was kind of an embarrassing thing. Years with Bentley, having Bentley the first Halloween, he was also a firefighter. Wow, that's weird. He's been Batman, he's been Superman. Last year, I remember the one night, I think we were handing out candy. I went as a frat boy and I made Bentley a beer, like an actual beer can. But yeah, so there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little stretch and talk YouTuber. Working on the, can you tell, the balance between stretching and actually talking. Aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's YouTuber video. I love you guys coming back and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. I feel like I should do like a stretch covers the camera. Like, would that be, this is really cringy and very lame, but I'm gonna do it. Ready? Why is this happening? I don't know. No, we're not doing that. Boy.
Sometimes I feel so